there, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening whenever you're finding this video. I'm Lisa the Love Coach. You can find me online at Lisa the Love Coach, and today I am bringing you an amazing story about how you can heal the inner child who is running your show when it comes to your relationships. So here's what's going on, and at the end, you got to stay to the end because I have a gift for you at the end. You got to hit the subscribe and the like and the whole notification thing so that you get the little ding ding every time I put a video up, which is every week. But today's video is about handling your inner child who is running the show when it comes to your relationships. Now, I have a client and I'm going to share a little bit of what went on in our session so that hopefully this resonates with you and you can handle your inner child who is running your life when it comes to relationships. This girl, bless her heart, was so brave. She shared with me that when she was 6 years old, she had trouble sleeping by herself. She wanted to sleep with her mom. And so one night she felt like she was going to die. You know, like when you're little and you're 6 and you think that like somebody's gonna come get you, some entity, some force is going to come and snatch you and kill you, and you feel it, you believe it, right? You're 6. So she had this episode. She was freaking out. So she goes to her mom, and for whatever reason, her mom, you know, she was very like neglectful and very kind of self-absorbed, a little bit narcissistic, didn't really have the emotional capacity to tend to the child's needs, right? So my client is sick, she's freaking out, she's banging on the door, mommy, I'm scared. And actually what ended up happening was the mom slammed the door. So the little girl's like, Ma, can I sleep with you? I'm scared. There's like monsters in my closet and all this, you know, 6 years old. And the mother was like, no, you go back to your room right now, stop the crap, get under the covers and go to sleep. What's wrong with you? Like making her feel bad for being scared. Didn't acknowledge, nurture her, nothing. So she's like, but Ma, you don't understand. I'm so afraid. She kind of pushes her a little bit out of the door and then slams the door on her face and locks it. So now this little girl, there's a dark hallway behind her. She's banging on the door. Mommy, let me in, freaking out. Mother is like, go to sleep, like screaming at her. Disaster, traumatic. So now this little girl, fast forward 21 years, she's 27 years old now, grows up, she starts to have relationships, and her relationships mimic the banging on the door feeling. But instead of banging on the door wanting her mommy to come nurture her and rescue her and make her feel safe and secure and protected, she's doing it with men. So this little girl is running her relationships because she has yet to soothe that need to feel cared for, acknowledged, protected, loved. Okay, so what do we do in my session with her? We did a process called inner bonding. You can check this out. I'm actually going to include the video. I love this lady. She's amazing. She helped me tremendously. I still use her processes in my own coaching practice. Her name is Dr. Margaret Paul. Inner bonding is the process. So basically, and also Teal Swan and her completion method. It's a little bit controversial. I do it a little bit different. Anyway, what we did was we went back. I guided her back to that very moment. And you like need to do this with someone first who knows what they're doing. I was trained in this, so I'll tell you what we did. We went back to that moment of trauma, banging on the door. I mean, my client's crying. I'm like, oh my God, do you feel her? Do you see her? Like, what's going on? I'm walking her through this exact, you know, traumatic event that happened to her. But now she and I are together and we're gonna go there and get that little girl and make her feel safe and do whatever it takes to show up for that little girl. And I was guiding my client on how to do this, and she did it. So she goes and she's like, yeah, I see her, she's at the door and she's banging on the door, she's freaking out, she's crying, and she feels bad now. My client starts to get emotional because she's feeling empathetic. You know, she's like, oh my God, this pain of this little girl, and she's feeling guilty that she never showed up for her. All these feelings are coming out. So I'm like, okay, be with your feelings, all is well, like feel what you're feeling, but in a minute we got to go get this girl. So she did it. She agreed to do it. And she had this beautiful conversation with this girl. And I was taking her through it. And I was asking her, you know, what is she doing now? Oh, she's afraid. Okay, show up and tell her that you're there. You know, tell her that she's safe. She has this beautiful conversation, very deep, heavy conversation with this little girl. in the end, she was able to, in her mind, get this little girl, calm her down, show up for her, nurture her, make her feel safe, sound, secure. We got the salsa music at 8 a.m. In Miami, Florida, which is where I'm coming. Anyway, she was able to make this little girl, which is her, it's her inner child, her version of herself at 6, which is broken and sad and feeling alone. She was able to stand up for her, rescue her. She rescued herself, made her feel safe, secure, sound, got her back into bed, laid down with her, started reading her a story, comforted her, nurtured her, and made her feel like she'll never have to bang on anyone's door ever again for safety, security, love, compassion, any of that. She showed up for herself. So this process of inner bonding, of going back to revisiting traumas and reorchestrating how the trauma plays out as an adult is incredibly helpful in quickly, I'm talking like within hours, transitioning and transforming and integrating change, positive change in how you handle and show up in relationships. I had this done to me, and now I teach it to other people and I guide people through it in my own coaching practice. So I love doing this because the transformation is super rapid and the pain is so real. And then when you feel that ease and that release from it, because you're like, oh my God, I did it, you feel so empowered, you feel lighter, you feel like, oh my God. So at the end of our session, this whole thing took an hour. I asked her, I'm like, okay, so in the beginning, you didn't know how to show up for yourself and you thought it was a big responsibility and you were basically abandoning yourself. You were like, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. And then what she did, she said, I went from being a little girl, not knowing how to figure this out, showing up as a little girl in my relationships, to rescuing that little girl. So now it's as if I'm her mother. It's as if I grew up just now and I said, oh, no. That little girl, you want to get to her, you got to go through me, right? And that's how we start to become very protective of our inner children who had trauma, who had things happen to them. And we're just here now as adults to take them on and to give them the nurturing and the love and the respect and the acknowledgement, the validation, hearing their voice, allowing them to speak freely. I do it all the time for myself. It's the best way to rapidly step into self-love. It's the best way. So I hope this helps you out. You know, it's important to do this kind of work. We all have traumas. We all have things that happened to us when we were little. And if we don't address them and we just kind of put them on a shelf, a part of us literally splits off emotionally. And then we wonder, why am I showing up like this in a relationship? Why am I freaking out because he didn't text me, or she's talking to that other guy over there, or whatever thing sets you off and triggers you? It's because that little kid needs you to step up and rescue it. And you got to figure out what happened back then that makes you the way you are now. Flip it, transform it, integrate it, and then you're free. You're free from it. So yeah, this is an amazing process. I'm hopeful to connect with you if this resonated with you. You can find me at lovequestcoaching.com. I'm Lisa the Love Coach, and I really look forward to hearing your comments below about how you try to blend and combine and just be with your inner child who's looking for saving and salvation and soothing from you. You can't do it for yourself, then you're not gonna find it in somebody else, my loves. Have a blessed, lovely day. Again, Lisa Concepcion. Thanks so much, and hit subscribe if you like this video and catch other ones of mine, and I'm hopeful to help you out. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.